Yo, what's going on, guys? This is MRGang here. Welcome back to another toy review by yours truly. And today we have yet another Lego review. I haven't done one of those in a while. And boy, howdy, do I got a good one for you guys. So today, guys, we are going to be taking a look at the Lego Technic Ferrari FXX. Oh boy, and what a beaut this guy is. So, and of course, this is another one of the many Technic sets they've done in collaboration with Asphalt Legends Unite. We'll talk more about that here in a bit. But, oh boy, I have a lot of I want to say about this car because, oh man. I mean, I would dare say this car might just, if not just about, top my favorite Ferrari I have in my collection so far, the Lego Ferrari Daytona. Yes, it is that good. But anyhow, so taking a look at the box, of course you guys can see the Lego Technic logo loud and proud up there, with of course a lovely visual in the center of the actual car itself, speeding down the highway, looking absolutely fantastic. Of course right here we do have the set number 42212, Ferrari FXXK. This has 897 pieces. And, of course up here, can't forget your Ferrari logo, because this of course is officially licensed. And as I said before, you can play as this car in the Asphalt Legends Unite game, which again, we'll talk about here in just a bit. Moving on to the side here, of course you can see more of the Asphalt Legends Unite promo, of course Lego Technic logo again, and a bunch of different languages. And of course on the back, we do get a very nice rear view of the car, with of course a real life image of the FXXK, which even in real life, what an absolute stunner this car is, with some little specs right there, which of course we'll get into, as we always do, here in a little bit. Of course you do get this little caption here, just showing off one of the functions of the car, and of course showing it off in the Asphalt Legends Unite game, which is pretty awesome. And then, of course, right here we do get the Lego Technic logo again, with a very nice frontal view of the FXXK. And then on the top, if I can actually get my fingers to, function correctly here, you can see a very nice side profile view of the car, and an actual 1:1 scale image of one of the rear tires, I believe. Actually, never mind, it's one of the front tires. Interesting. Oh, and of course, before I forget, on the bottom, you do get the Lego Technic logo again, and you do get a whole bunch of legal jargon. Alright, so now, with the box out of the way, let's go ahead, make a little room real quick here, and let's get a good look at the car itself. Oh, what a beauty this car is. I mean, I think this is the umpteenth car in this sort of scale. I don't really know what scale you would call this. I would probably say, maybe like, if I was to guess, maybe like 1/16th scale, I would guess. Because I don't really say on the box anywhere, obviously. But for the cars in this sort of scale, this I think has to be another one of the smash hits. I mean, where do I even begin with this thing? Well, first and foremost, we'll start off with the front of the car, of course. So, scooting it up a little bit here. You can see some of the already really nice details this car's got going on. So you can see at the front we do get this very nice swooped grille right here, with of course the front diffusers beautifully flashing up front there. Of course, you do already see some of the sticker details there, including the FXXK logo. Of course, you get this little 10 right here, which I have no idea what that means at all. And then, of course, you do get some more sticker detail just to kind of fill in this little front grille. Of course, at the front, you can see one of the printed pieces here as well with the Ferrari logo, beautifully plastered on the front there, with some very nice sticker detailing showing off more of the sort of, ventilation systems and many of the other different surface details on the car itself. Then, of course, right here you do get the very interesting headlights here, which you could barely even tell they're headlights, but yeah, they are headlights, and these are just giant stickers, of course, on the front. And of course, like with most of these cars, you can in fact open the hood, even though there's no point because there's really no internal detail there at all. But hey, you can open it up if you so wish. And of course it closes down just like that. Moving on to the side now, we can see some even more of the detail of this car. And you can see just how angular of a car it is, with a lot of the aerodynamics as it just swoops and glides along, with some very nice details going all the way across here. So you can see you got the Italian flag right there. Of course, you got this little 10. You get some more sticker details, FXXK right down there. And you do get the Ferrari logo and everything right there. And of course on the back we get some of the sort of, the rear spoilers, or I guess you can't really call them a spoiler because I mean it's very interesting spoiler design, with some more sticker detail going up over the fenders here. And we do get some very nice, again, just built-in detail for the angles and the swoopy nature of this car. Now, of course, the doors do open, but for those who remember my Daytona review, yeah, the doors open very similar to that. So as soon as I pull up the door, you'll see what I'm talking about. Check that out. Now, you do need to assist it a little bit, but yes, the doors do in fact open up like gull-wing doors, and both doors do this. Let me just open up on the other side here, because this one seems to open up easier than on the other side. And it's a very simple mechanism, actually. Very similar to the Daytona. There is just a simple linkage system, and there's a little like built-in folding mechanism that allows the door to easily open up. And of course, inside, even though it's really hard to tell because these doors do not open up that well. I'm going to actually grab my flashlight real quick, because I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this. But you do get some very, very nice detail inside of the car itself, which again is going to be really hard to show. But there is actually... Just got to get in there. You can kind of see there is a steering wheel right in there, but again, I would practically have to pop the door off completely for you to see, but there is a steering wheel in there. And if we look on this side, if I just get the camera just at the right angle, you should be able to see, and I don't think the camera's actually going to pick this up, but there is actually sticker details for the internals of the seats. Though unfortunately, like I said, the one big problem I have with this car is, well, obviously, the doors don't open up nearly as wide as they do on the actual car, but given the size scale, I guess this is the best they could do. And I'm surprised at this scale as well, that they could even, get that out of the shot there, actually get that to open up the way it does. But, yep, it does open pretty nicely. And, of course, to close it, it is very simple. Just push it down, and, of course, just gently press on the bottom of the door. And both doors will neatly fold back down. So that, I think, is a really good mechanism, but I think they could have worked a way to where that doesn't interfere with the internals. Cool gimmick, don't get me wrong. Awesome gimmick. But, oh, Lego, you kind of fell flat there, I'm not gonna lie. Right there. But, aside from that kind of gimmick, let's move around now to the back and take a look at some more of the detailing. So, of course, on the back of the car itself, we do get some very nice details, including, of course, the big Ferrari logo plastered right on the back. And you do get some very nice ventilation detail, and you even get the gas cap over there on the left side. So that is pretty neat. Now, very similarly to a couple of the different cars that I've gotten in this size scale, the back does, in fact, open. Just simply pull it up. And it does, in fact, open. And what's cool, too, is that underneath there is a tiny, well, not really tiny, but there is a kickstand right here, which you can just simply prop up the back, and there you go, just like the real car. Now, of course, looking at more at the back, you can see some more of the rear diffusers right there, and you get the Ferrari logo back there as well, with some very nice printed detail down there. Of course, you do get the rear taillights, which I think this is a very unique assembly for how they did it with this sort of rubber tubing. And then you have the little pieces right for the taillights, which is kind of an interesting design. Anyhow, looking inside here now, you can see the nice V12 engine, which like all of these cars, when you roll it forward and backward, the engine does in fact spin. Let me see if I can get that to show on camera here. So, and you can also see, like most of these other cars, there is a rear differential as well. So that is pretty awesome too. And of course right here you do get some more detailing for the engine. And you also do get a sticker on the back of the engine right in the middle here of the V12. So that is pretty neat. And then of course to fold it back up, simply fold up the kickstand and then just gently push it down. And that closes up the rear boot. So that's pretty nice. Now, as for these diffusers over here, you can actually adjust them. They are on pins, so if you do want them to be folded down or folded up, you can do so as you please. Now, I'm not sure if the real car actually does that, but that is a pretty neat detail to include as well. And then, of course, on this side, pretty much ditto for the left side, but again, just the detail, the angling, everything. I mean, Lego really has outdone themselves with this car. But then again, with most of these licensed vehicles, they just do an incredible job at just capturing the look and the feel of the actual vehicles they're based on. Just absolutely phenomenal design here. Just a shame that I can't really show you guys the internals because it's just so dark in there. But with all that, that's pretty much going to do it for the features of the FXXK here. So let's go ahead and get this guy on the turntable and let's talk a little more about the actual car itself. And of course some fun facts and details about the actual FXXK. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so with the Ferrari XXXK, or FXXK, sorry, on the turntable here, let's go ahead and take a look at it and talk a little bit more about the car itself in detail. But before I do forget, because, geez, how could I forget this? There is actually a steering mechanism on this as well. So of course the big gear on the top, when you turn it, just like every other car in this scale, the wheels will turn. Almost forgot to include that. So, there you go. Okay, now on to the facts. So, the Ferrari FXXK is Ferrari's research and development vehicle based on the LaFerrari, if you couldn't tell by how similar the two vehicles are. The K in the new car's name refers to the Kinetic Energy Recovery System, KERS, which is used to maximize performance. The FXXK is not intended to be used in competition and was developed to give an uncompromising experience to the lucky driver. The FXXK was unveiled at the Yas Marina circuit in late 2014. A total of 40 units were built. So now to get into some more specifications on this particular model. So this car uses a hybrid power plant, and it has a total output power of 1050 PS, 772 kilowatts, or 1036 horsepower, and over 900 Nm, 664 pounds per foot, which 860 PS, 633 kilowatts, or 848 horsepower are delivered by the V12 ICE, and 190 PS, 140 kilowatts, 187 horsepower by the electric motor. That's a lot of power. The V12 engine has been tuned for track use as well as the high KERS system. With a dry weight of 1,165 kilos, or 2,568 pounds, the FXXK's extremely effective downforce generation of 1,190 pounds at 200 kilometers per hour, 124 miles per hour. So yeah, this thing's got a mad case of zoomies, as the kids would say. So, and my computer is glitching. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys, but my computer was having an aneurysm. Anyway, so the car has 4 driving modes: Qualify, maximum performance on short distance; Long Run, for long distance driving; Fast Charge, for fast recharge of the battery; and Manual Boost, that uses all the power of the engine and batteries for maximum torque, cornering, and speed. It has F1 based technology, including the eDiff electronic differential, F1 track traction control, and racing ABS brakes, all controlled from the center console. Mainetino. Okay. Like the preceding FXX and 599XX, the FXXK is a part of Ferrari's client test driver program that allows owners of XX cars to drive at special tracks, collecting data for use in future Ferrari road and race cars. Huh. Didn't even know that was a thing. Like, anyway. The front of the car has a large splitter and twin profile spoiler. The headlights are very small for improving aerodynamics. On the rear, the tail is higher and includes an electronically operated spoiler with a tail fin and a small wing at the end of each fin to maximize the downforce. So I guess that answers my question. They are controllable by the driver. Go figure. The car has a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour or 217 miles per hour. I mean, that's still pretty fast. Maybe not Lamborghini fast, but still, this thing's a friggin' missile on wheels. No joke. So, continuing on now, let's talk a little bit more about the actual in-game car itself. So, in Asphalt Legends Unite, the Ferrari FXXK will appear as a low-class S car with the following rank statistics. So at rank 1, or at star 1, it is ranked 2,953, with its second star stock rank putting it at 3,127. And then at 3 stars, it's ranked 3,298. At 4, 3,563. And at 5 stars, it is at rank 3,832. Okay. So at stock, the Ferrari FXK has a top speed rating of 350, decent acceleration rating, 76.59, below the average handling, 38.45, and above the average nitro efficiency, or 64.95. The Ferrari FXXK can compete with other low-class S cars, such as the Lamborghini Centenario and Icona Vulcano Titanium, but will struggle to keep up with cars like the W Motors Lycan Hypersport and the Lamborghini Terzo Millennio due to its inferior speed. Which, by the way, Lego, please make a Terzo Millennio at some point, please. Just side note. Anyway, the FXXK is one of the few cars that will be available from the daily car loot event. One blueprint can be obtained per day by having 10 club members beat the time limit using an S-Class car. It can also be found in packs and in the Legends store. So there you have it. So, with all of that out of the way, that's pretty much going to do it for this review on the LEGO Technic Ferrari FXXK. All in all, really, really stellar car. And for the second, I believe, in many of their collaboration with Asphalt Legends Unite, this thing is an absolute stunner of a car. I mean, easily outdoes, at least in my opinion, their last car they did in this collaboration, that being the Chevy Corvette C7, which that on its own was freaking like phenomenal for a Corvette, but this guy easily tops that. And speaking of, let's go ahead and do some quick comparisons, shall we? Before we end this video, and well, let's do that. Alright guys, so for some size comparisons, let's go ahead and start off with something a little bit different, I guess you could say, with the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, right here for comparison. So you can see just how small the Ferrari actually is. Now, I'm not sure if this is exactly the scale, because I think the Jeep should be at least a little bit smaller than the Ferrari. But you know what? Hey, the nose does stick out just a little bit. So I think it works for what it is. Even though, of course, it is going to be way taller, because, I mean, it's a Jeep. It makes sense. Then for our next comparison, let's grab in the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, which, oh boy, it's been a while since I've taken this beauty off the shelf. Jeez. And, yeah, what an absolute beaut that is. And as you can see, yeah, they're about the same size, although I think the nose sticks out just a little bit more than the Jesko Absolute. But, of course, these two are stunning regardless, so I can't complain. And for our next size comparison, let's compare it to my very lovely Agile Blue Bugatti Bolide. So you can see how these two stack up. And obviously the Bolide is pretty dang long, especially with that massive spoiler back there. But yeah, still, for basically race cars, it definitely makes sense, I guess. Even though I thought the Ferrari would be a little bit bigger, but I guess that's how the cookie crumbles with these two. And then last, but certainly not least, let's compare it to our last Asphalt collab release. That being, of course, the Chevy Corvette C7. And again, absolutely fantastic cars. I mean, jeez. And again, it's really nice to see this one off the shelf because, man, it's absolute beauty. But there you guys go with those two. So, absolutely stunning. And with all of that being said, guys, if you guys did enjoy this review, then please make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell so that way you guys get notified for all my uploads. Later, Reed Squad, and have a good one.